in the bantamweight division. This will be extremely explosive as we take a look at the tail of the tape between Bekbulat Magomedov and Donavon Frelow. Magomedov, 26'5", 135. There you see his reach at 70 inches. And Donavon Frelow, 32 years of age, 5'7", 133, and a 65-inch reach. As we take a look at the rules for the World Series of Fighting, they look like this. This is what the judges sitting ringside will be looking for. No knees to the head of a grounded opponent. 10-point must system is in effect based on its striking, grappling, aggression, and of course, cage control.
Your referee is Brian Miner.
So we are set to go in the bantamweight division. Glad to be working with an all-star cast tonight. Of course, Boss Rutan will be reporting from backstage. Two-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison, and of course, sitting cage side with me, MMA Hall of Famer Randy Couture. As we get set, Randy, this should be an extremely explosive fight.
Absolutely. You don't want to blink. These guys are so quick.
Donavon Frelow in the black trunks, Magomedov in the blue trunks. Similar build, they both like to work at the same pace, but you keep an eye on Donavon Frelow. Cardio has never been a problem for this young man. This one's scheduled for 5 rounds for the bantamweight belt in the World Series of Fighting. Chance to visit with Donavon Frelow after weigh-ins yesterday, and Randy, you know better maybe than anyone else, that is a very precarious time. He usually doesn't have any kind of problem having to cut down the weight, and was in full energy as he absorbs a big right hand from Magomedov.
Magomedov with a straight right hand and then follows it with a jumping knee. Didn't land very well, but it was still there. Very explosive. Early
on, fighters measuring range, speed. Frelow missing there on that kick. Absorbs one from Magomedov. Talk about the fighters coming over from Dagestan and Russia and that part of the world. And Randy has been a freight train of talent that has come this way from the East.
They have a huge, long-standing history in combative sports. From wrestling to sambo, judo, all of the good individual combative sports, they're very, very strong. Magomedov trying to set up that right hand, trying to find that range. Very active Frelow.
Magomedov, last fight, World Series of Fighting 33, back in October of 2016. He got the decision over Jesse Brock. Donavon Frelow connects with the overhand right, puts Magomedov to his knee, but he recovers quickly.
Wobbled him a little bit, started to drop, came right back up. Kind of surprised Frelow didn't jump all over him and try to hit him again or hurt him again.
Donavon Frelow 6-1 for those victories coming by way of submission, training with John Wood and Syndicate MMA.
Did Frelow give you an indication how much weight he had to cut to make weight?
Very little. I think he's one of those kids that his metabolism runs so high. And a lot of these fighters, when you talk to them, when they come off that scale, you know, Randy, they are gassed, and all they want to do is get fluids and get food, and he's just upbeat, happy, ready to go, spending plenty of time asking whatever questions you want, but he is always on the positive side.
Magomedov in deep, trying to pull the double leg, and gets it.
So the first takedown of the match going the way of Bekbulat Magomedov in the blue trunks, and he quickly transitions over, trying to take the back away from Donavon Frelow.
Frelow does a nice job scrambling, coming to his knees, protecting, not giving up a hook or an anchor, and letting Magomedov secure that back position.
It's amazing, both these fighters doing battle in the bantamweight division. Frelow coming in just under 133 pounds, Magomedov at 134, but you look at him standing there, and Magomedov looks like such a bigger fighter.
He does look thicker and just generally bigger. Makes you wonder how much he cut.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, Randy, as a fighter, what is basically your cut and your walk around? These guys, let's say they're weighing in at 133. What do you think they're at tonight?
Well, depending on how much they cut, but generally the rule is 10% of your body weight or less. If you start cutting more than 10% of your body weight in water, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have an issue. It's going to affect your performance. There's all kinds of issues that it causes, but both these guys are very fit, very active.
Technical fight early on here, round number 1. Remember, this one's scheduled for 5. It is all about championship fighting tonight, World Series of Fighting 35. As we give you Ref Cam for the first time here live on NBCSN. Brian Miner wearing the headgear and giving you an idea what it's like from his perspective and what he has seen, which I think going forward, Randy, is going to be fantastic because you know how the fight fans, if their fighter gets in a fight and it's stopped early, they're going to say, what was he looking at? Well, we'll show you what he was looking at.
Well, and they don't call it the best seat in the house for no reason.
Donavon Frelow now in the black trunks trying to figure out this as Magomedov has that one-leg trap, now doing work on the ground, continuing to grind forward. Frelow not in any serious trouble right now, doing a little bit of fishing on his own, looking for something to slow the pace down of the Russian fighter.
He's definitely making Magomedov work to keep him down there. He's creating scrambles, trying to get back up to his feet. I think 3 times now Magomedov has put him back down on the ground and really making him scramble hard to keep him down there.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1. This one's scheduled for 5 in the bantamweight division with the belt on the line. Donavon Frelow and Bekbulat Magomedov in an entertaining fight here from Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York. Donavon Frelow lands an early one. Can he make it count in round 2? You, the viewer, can now participate at home by telling us who you think will win the fight. Log on to NBCSports.com/WSOF and vote throughout the fight. Later in the show, we'll display real-time voting results as we welcome you back to Turning Stone Casino, Verona, New York. Todd Harris, Randy Couture, WSOF 35. Donavon Frelow in the black trunks, Bekbulat Magomedov in the blue. This for the open bantamweight belt. Donavon Frelow landed a nice punch early on that drove the Russian to his knees, but the Magomedov fighter out of Dagestan very strong on the ground, scoring some valid points.
Did a great job of controlling the tempo of the fight, staying on top, kept putting Frelow back down there. And it's really been Magomedov who's been pacing and hunting down Frelow. Frelow's the one just circling out, moving, but then Frelow's the one that lands the punch.
Sure.
So.
This one's scheduled for 5 rounds. Does not seem to be cardio going to be a problem. I've seen plenty of fights from both of these gentlemen, and they usually the fighters, the mouth is closed even in the 3rd round. They're not searching for oxygen, so 2 extra rounds for Donavon Frelow is not allowed. The spinning back kick coming the way of Magomedov.
Jab by Magomedov, keep that distance, find that distance and range.
Boy, you see the mutual respect, Randy. They both have a lot of speed in those hands. But just, as you said, finding the range and getting in a rhythm. Frelow trying to get on the inside of Magomedov, but always aware of that big right hand of his.
Magomedov followed that combination nicely with the low kick right to the 5. Frelow responds, comes right back after him.
Under 3 minutes to go here in round number 2. This one's scheduled for 5 as we check in with 2-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison in the Donavon Frelow corner.
Hi guys, I talked to Frelow's coach and they're telling him to stay loose, keep his head moving up. He took this fight on short notice, so they said try something funky.
No question about it. Donavon Frelow has plenty of that in his arsenal. At this point, though, he's been a little cautious about the power of Magomedov, not wanting to get caught early. Randy, you've taken fights before in short notice. Is it a huge deal? Because at this particular weight class, these guys are usually pretty close to being in shape almost all the time.
Yeah, it really depends on the individual and the athlete. I mean, how short a notice are we talking here? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? That's still, in my opinion, short notice. You start talking a week, that's almost crazy, but guys do it. And it just goes to show you've got to be ready to go at all times, be ready to seize the moment before it appears.
Now, you don't see a lot of big weight cuts in this weight class, and that big back kick finds the midsection of Donavon Frelow, pushing him back in the cage, and Frelow comes back, and now you're going to see your first big body slam.
Well, he shot it deep to the guillotine.
Look at this, on the guillotine.
Frelow is in deep, under the chin.
Goodness.
Magomedov is in trouble. Obviously, you can see him trying to find a way to brace on the head. He gets his head out.
So the amount of sweat that had built up on the head of Magomedov really comes to his aid as Frelow unable to maintain that chokehold. His head slides through. on a drier fighter, he might not have been able to pop through so easy.
And we're back to Magomedov on top. Looks like he's trying to trap an arm.
Donavon Frelow looking to his corner.
As he used that French, Frelow needs to back up against it, and turn and try and walk up that ring post and get back to his feet.
You see Magomedov now just grinding forward, gonna pop his head out here and see if he can do something with it. He's got the single leg now trapped from Frelow as Frelow goes down to the canvas. And Randy, you've been in training session before. This is the kind of, I guess, the unsexy stuff. You're not hitting speed
this is
back.
the grind, man. This is the grind.
This is it.
Magomedov is trying to grind Frelow down, frustrate him, keep him down there, make him work for every little inch. You're going to see Magomedov now put Frelow back on the ground, and again, use his hips, tie up his hands, do his best to just grind on him.
Certainly not a sprint in this one with the bantamweight belt on the line. It's scheduled for 5 rounds. Frelow taking his time, trying to solve this conundrum right now with Bekbulat Magomedov in control with a dominant position. And the final 10 seconds of round number 2.
Magomedov happy to sit in the half guard.
We will see a 3rd round, takedowns aplenty in round number 2. Much more when we return live on NBCSN. Back at Turning Stone Casino, upstate New York, WSOF 35. Todd Harris, Randy Couture, Boss Root, and Kayla Harrison with you tonight from New York as Donavon Frelow comes out firing.
Big overhand right by Frelow.
As we bring you not only ref cam, but sounds from the corner during the fight as we go into the corner of Donavon Frelow here in round number 3.
Not crazy. Let's not get careless.
Let's go.
We gotta answer back. We gotta answer back.
Right now, there it is. Nice, man. Separate. Good. Stay busy in there.
Good pressure. Let's turn off the cage.
Hey, be ready. Go. Take it back. Take back the cage. Let's go.
Let's go. Loose, relax. Let's use your jab a little bit, Donnie.
Let's go, Donnie, again.
Throw that, just keep throwing your jab out there.
Let's go, don't pause, get it out. Let's go. Jab you over. Stay out center line.
Jab's gonna help with your distance, so use it when you need it.
Make him find you.
Yeah. Stay loose, you'll see it.
Stay, there it is.
You'll see it.
Good. Good.
Atta boy. Now take a breath. Now if you need to take a walk, you can take a walk. Take a walk if you need it. There we go. I like it.
1-2 same side.
Let's try that 1-2 same side out, Donnie.
1-2 same side.
Atta boy, it's setting something up. That overhand's there after. The overhand's there after if you need it.
Let's go, then. Let's go. Get overhand.
Just trust in it. Let's go back to the training.
Just get into it and be quick with it. Let's go. Keep going.
There's that right hand. Very patient after.
Try that.
He sits, he waits.
You got some punches there if you need it, Donnie. That overhand. 1-2 same side.
Frelow seems to be a little cautious, and for good reason, try to get him too close into that pocket of Magomedov.
Let's hit that overhand left. That right.
Frelow came out fireworks at the beginning of the round, but now it's kind of settled down and slowed down a little bit more.
Atta boy. Yeah, exactly. Let's have some output, Donnie. A little bit of output. Calculated output. Let's do it.
Calculated output.
You can hear his corner. I think that the short notice part of this is you realize this is a 5-round fight.
Yeah.
You've got to be diligent about using the energy he's using.
Frelow changing up his stance, going from regular to southpaw, trying to confuse Magomedov, who really just seems to be patient, cautious, and throwing attacks at so many different levels. We've seen the spinning back kick, straight kicks, comes in with the combinations which we know Boss Wooten loves. If you're going to throw one, you might as well throw 2. Right there, Frelow coming in with that big looping left hand, and Magomedov quickly retreats to avoid any damage. Wow, that is That is just beautiful
almost
work.
a Superman jab followed by a 2. It was interesting. And there's the double leg.
Here we go.
Frelow charges in right into the double leg. No guillotine this time.
And Frelow, this position, trying to clinch down. We saw this in an earlier round when we saw Magomedov pop his head through. That's exactly what he's going to do here in a second, Randy. He's going to just leverage this thing out.
Magomedov doing a nice job of staying in the half guard. It's really hard to pull a guillotine off from the half guard. Frelow needs both legs around that waist to apply the appropriate pressure and get the choke.
Not only pops out, but gets it back to his feet. So Frelow at this point, at round 3 of 5 with a minute to go, has thrown quite a bit at Magomedov. Is there anything you think in Donavon Frelow's arsenal that he could throw here to possibly confuse or score some big points with Magomedov?
He's throwing 1, maybe 2 big punches. I think he needs to set his distance up better and land the combination. These are big winging punches, and they're not landing. He certainly has Magomedov's full attention.
Oh, no question. Bit of a defensive sprawl now by Donavon Frelow.
Nice switch attempt by Frelow. Whipping the hips over Magomedov. Magomedov doing a good job. Trapping the bottom arm now. Just meticulously kind of grinding on Frelow now.
As we take you on board Ref Cam, the view from inside the decagon. Donavon Frelow in the black trunks, Bekbulat Magomedov in the blue. We're down to final 10 seconds of round number 3. Remember, this is a championship bout, so we will go 5 rounds for the bantamweight title. The World Series of Fighting 35. We'll have much more when we return to Verona, New York. Second of 3 title bouts tonight as we are back to action here in the 4th round of the bantamweight division with the belt on the line. Magomedov in control in the blue trunks. Las Vegas' own Donavon Frelow trying to figure this problem out as Magomedov has not given an opportunity to Frelow to really score big points. He's gone to this guillotine multiple times, but as you pointed out, Randy Couture, really not the angle at which he can attack and end the fight with.
Magomedov was doing shot in, again, gave his neck up, but doesn't allow Frelow to throw both those legs around his waist and really apply the leverage to secure the choke. Now it's just a matter of time. Is Frelow spending energy with his arms trying to choke him, and he doesn't really have his legs in the fight.
As we go on board Ref Cam inside the decagon here, Turning Stone Casino, Verona, New York, WSOF 35, with 2 more championship bouts still to come live here on NBCSN.
Magomedov looking to trap that bottom hand and pull it under Frelow. And seatbelt and tie that bottom hand up and not allow him to protect himself with it.
Is it time to surrender that grip that Frelow's got on his head around there?
He needs to think about it for sure. He can't do much from that half guard position anyway. But when he lets go of Magomedov's head, Magomedov is in a better position to do some damage. I think he's trying to leverage it to find a way to get to his knee or get up from that bottom position.
Magomedov doing a great job of trapping the leg of Donavon Frelow, not giving him many options. So he's holding on somewhat like a life preserver to the neck of Magomedov, trying to limit his options and not let him posture up and rain down the left. Right now they are just in a complete body lock, one with the other, and the fans looking for the referee to stand these boys up.
Magomedov trying to transition to full mount, but the fence prevented him from getting there. He's really just kind of biding his time. Now his head's clear. Look for him to drive him over that bottom arm and try and trap it underneath him if he can do that.
Right now these boys are engaged in a world-class form of twister as Magomedov pops through and takes a bit of side control and then immediately takes the back.
This is the grind that ground fighting turns into a lot of times. And it's a battle of inches here and there. Who can get that slightest little angle of position.
Is this the least fun training you do for a fight? The grind stuff, the ground game?
I like this stuff. This is what I've been doing my whole life. So I feel like I have an advantage there.
Under 2.5 minutes to go here in round number 4. This one's scheduled for 5. Magomedov just showing his strength as he is just not letting Donavon Frelow go.
I think he's taking a little gas out of Frelow.
Yeah,
and you're seeing that a little bit in this round. He's not quite as explosive as he's been early in the other rounds. He's grinding on him, and that grind is working.
That's a 145-pound Dagestani backpack right now that Frelow's having to carry and trying to find his way out of here while he takes the shots to the side of the head, to the back of the head. He's trained for this, obviously.
Full back now.
Yep, this is a bad place to be.
Magomedov has his full back, both hooks in. Again, he's so patient. He takes his time. He's not in a rush. He's just going to grind on you and try and irritate you any way he can.
Maybe not sexy from the fans' perspective, but this is
trying to lock on the body triangle.
This is just irritating.
This makes it very difficult for Frelow to breathe with that body triangle on.
So at this point, looks like Frelow's trying to bow out his back, get some oxygen. But what can he do here, Randy? Is this a situation where he's got to turn into Magomedov?
He's got to put that foot on, Magomedov's foot on the mat. And from there, he can start to work. He's doing the right thing, protecting his neck. He's not going to give up the easy rear naked choke here. He's doing a nice job at stuffing Magomedov's hands under his armpits and trapping him.
Yeah, he's got 60 seconds to figure out this Rubik's Cube in the 4th round. As Magomedov has pretty much had his way on the ground game with Donavon Frelow. And so Frelow, as you pointed out, Randy Couture protecting the neck, not letting this fight end by way of stoppage or tap out, as the official looking down upon this action, and he's getting very close to standing them up because the pace just not to his liking.
I don't know if standing him up from this dominant position is such a great idea from a referee's perspective. But
Magomedov's earned this position.
There, close. He's got his chin in, but Magomedov trying to find the angle and dig that arm in under the chin and secure the choke.
As soon as Frelow comes up for some unencumbered air, the choke attempt goes back in, and we are going to see a 5th and final round here at Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York. It's WSOF 35 championship round in the bantamweight division when we return. Back inside Turning Stone Casino, you, the fans, have voted online at NBCSports.com/WSOF, and you've got Magomedov winning this one 57 to 60% to 40% for Donavon Frelow. And Randy Couture, I think that's pretty accurate as we enter the 5th and final round.
I have to agree, that is pretty accurate. It's been a pretty close fight. Oh, nice takedown by Magomedov. Body lock, got out on his hips, got the angle, put both Frelow's feet in the air. But I definitely agree with those scores. It is a close fight. We saw the only really significant punch landed by Frelow in the 1st round. But Magomedov has just grinded Frelow position after position after position and made Frelow really work.
It'll be interesting to find out, if we can, from the corner of Donavon Frelow, what exactly they told their fighter and what he needs to do.
Magomedov in full mount now.
Kayla Harrison, you were in the corner of Donavon Frelow. What did you hear during that last changeover?
Yep, Frelow's coach is telling him he can't be sloppy, to have precise punches, and if he wants to win, he really needs to show them.
Yeah, no question, Randy. You pointed out early, Frelow not finding the target or the range, and how do you, after 4 rounds of not finding the chin of Magomedov, how do you all of a sudden find it in the 5th round?
Well, it's going to be difficult, and you can see right away Magomedov's not going to give him a chance to do that. He's not going to stand around there and let him get one of those shots in that could end the fight. Magomedov is just really grinding on him here. Position.
Just putting Frelow in a bad place time and time again. And again, another takedown. He's doing a great job impressing the judges, Randy, because he's not just riding this thing out. He's not saying, I got the points, I got the 4 rounds, I can just ride this 5th one out. He's going to try to get the stop.
He's being very active. He's trying to find a good place where he can settle in and do some damage or find a submission. If you look at the arm triangle potential here as he climbs up. He's got almost full mount position, but Frelow does a nice job of working his hips out of there and staying out of big trouble.
Well, the pace has slowed considerably in this bantamweight division as it become more of a chess match rather than a 100-yard dash, as Bekbulat Magomedov has really taken the rhythm out of Donavon Frelow, a very smooth, free-flowing fighter. And as we mentioned earlier, in rounds 3 and 4, Frelow has found himself in some very negative positions and trying to fend off Magomedov, who, as Randy Couture has pointed out, has just ground him down.
He's just riding him like a wet blanket now. He's just staying all over him, not giving him an inch. He's really grinding.
Not giving him a chance to swing the momentum or the confidence in his favor. So Donavon Frelow now has less than 2.5 minutes to try to work some magic on Magomedov, or he will be walking away Magomedov with that bantamweight belt.
Again with the body triangle, this is a tough position for Frelow. Does a great job of protecting his neck, fighting the hands. Puts that foot on the mat.
And for good measure, a couple pops to the side of the chin and the body, staying busy.
Magomedov trying to soften him up, find a way to get his hands out of there, find a way to get to his neck.
Look at that, constantly fishing for that rear naked choke. And because he has that body lock on him, Randy, there's really no way for Frelow to roll into him, really to
It's very difficult to get this off once it's locked on. He's taking a little of the pressure off of his diaphragm by turning Magomedov's foot to the mat. And you can see he's in a little easier time breathing there. But he is definitely stuck there.
Yeah.
It's tough to get out of that position.
Coming up on 60 seconds to go, and it looks like Bekbulat Magomedov will pick up the win in the bantamweight division. Donavon Frelow has to get busy now with 60 seconds. He's got to find a way to turn the tables on Magomedov and throw something at him that he has not seen through 4.5 rounds. Joao Stefarino chiming in on Twitter. Magomedov is relentless, and that is dead on. He has been relentless, Randy Couture, since that first shot he took in round number 1 from Donavon Frelow.
Absolutely. Just staying on him. He's perfectly content to stay here. He's as patient the guys I've seen. He's in no hurry. He knows he's right where he wants to be.
Just constantly going back to the possible rear naked choke, then a few shots. Rinse and repeat for Magomedov as he continues to frustrate Donavon Frelow, a free-flowing fighter who has been brought to almost a halt and not the pace he likes to work out. Final 10 seconds of 5 rounds of championship fighting in the bantamweight division of the World Series of Fighting. Excellent sportsmanship, mutual admiration as it goes the distance. Magomedov with a very strong performance, but it goes to the judges. They will have the final decision. Who will wear the bantamweight belt of the World Series of Fighting? We will find out when we return to Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York. You're watching World Series of Fighting 35, the decision, when we return. Back in Verona, New York, WSOF 35, you the fans have spoken and you give the nod to Magomedov over Donavon Frelow as the new bantamweight champion in the World Series of Fighting. The scores are in with the official decision. Here is Jazz Securo.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 championship rounds, we go to your judges' scorecards for your winner. Judges David Peabody, David Torelli, and Eric Colon all score this fight 50-45 for your winner by unanimous decision and new World Series of Fighting Bantamweight Champion of the World, Bekbulat Magomedov!
Well, nice job by Magomedov. I mean, just solid performance, patient, knew exactly where he wanted to be, both in the striking position and on his feet. And when he got those little angles and little positions, he was not going to let Frelow off the hook.
Yeah, no question about it. Magomedov picking up his 18th professional win, only 1 loss, and he goes the distance with a very game Donavon Frelow. Well, he is the champion.